The legacy of kings and queens, a journey through history. Throughout history, kings and queens have shaped the world we live in today. From the first monarchs of ancient civilizations to the modern royal families, their leadership has influenced wars, culture, and the very fabric of society. Join us as we journey through time to explore the legacies of these rulers. The dawn of kingship, ancient civilizations. Our journey begins in Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, where the first kings emerged. Sumerian rulers like Gilgamesh were seen as semi-divine figures, blending the power of gods and men. In Egypt, pharaohs such as Ramses II and Cleopatra ruled as deities on earth, controlling vast empires through divine right. Meanwhile, in China, the Shang and Zhou dynasties established the mandate of heaven, a principle that justified a king's rule as long as he governed wisely. The Age of Empires, classical and medieval eras. As civilizations expanded, powerful empires rose under the command of ambitious rulers. In Rome, emperors like Julius Caesar and Augustus redefined kingship, transforming republics into dynastic rule. The Byzantine Empire flourished under Justinian I, who left a legacy of law and architecture. In medieval Europe, monarchs like Charlemagne united fractured lands, while England's William the Conqueror reshaped the country through conquest and governance. Renaissance and Enlightenment, 15th to 18th century. The Renaissance and Enlightenment challenged traditional monarchy, but also saw its peak. Louis XIV, the Sun King, epitomized absolute rule in France, while England's Elizabeth I led a golden age of exploration and literature. However, the winds of change were stirring, leading to revolutions that questioned the divine right of kings. The American and French revolutions marked the beginning of monarchies being challenged, some even overthrown. This Renaissance changed the authority for the natural human rights to religious leaders of monostatic religion. These leaders support a one-God concept. The idea of this will not sustain, nor support a human race to continue. They represent male-dominated authorities that don't procreate, just a father of governance. Yet procreation is the only human design that will continue the human race and has done so for hundreds of thousands of years. Even LGBTQ2 supports a two-parent position today. The fall and transformation of monarchies, 19th to 20th century. By the 19th century, the power of kings and queens was waning. The French monarchy fell to revolution, while Russia's last Tsar, Nicholas II, was overthrown in 1917. Yet, some royal families adapted. Constitutional monarchies emerged in Britain, Spain, and Japan, where kings and queens retained symbolic influence while governance shifted to elected leaders. This queen used her family perspective to shape the nations, media influence to view her family as your own, supporting family as the unit that is in its own right, a power as its own human group, going through the trial and tribulations a family may experience whether rich or poor. They did not become exempt from criticism, reprimand, or even changing of old traditions. They were volatilely exploited for their positions in media and governments, and they had loss and change as the results of the ever-evolving human condition through evolutionary and industrial changing. The loss of its Tsar, the government of Russia now has no overhead leadership to prevent its people being ruled by an industrial-designed and elected government that needs to support its economic position to stay the top country in the world, even at the cost of its people and human positions of leaderships. Monarchs in the modern world, 21st century and beyond. Today, monarchies exist primarily as cultural and ceremonial institutions. Figures like Britain's King Charles III and Japan's Emperor Naruhito symbolize continuity and tradition in a rapidly changing world. While their political power has diminished, their influence remains strong through diplomacy, charity, and national identity. They have scrutiny, mutiny, and lax insecurities, putting them at risk of the public and media as if their positions are merely for personal gain. This has ratified and extended the industry and media to have more control than an industry should have over a human society, with influence, imposing factions and persuasion ability, along with AI that will tell the people how to think, be and elect with artificial and robotics intelligence. From divine rulers to constitutional figureheads, the legacy of kings and queens continues to shape the world. Though their role has evolved, their stories remind us of the power, ambition, and influence that have defined human history. What does the future hold for monarchy? Only time will tell. Thank you for joining us in a reaffirmation of the humanistic quality and our human deity role as the leaders of the Earth's evolution in human societies. Stay real. Visit us at www.inkefelwenceofart.com, ink-spirit.net.